Welcome, everybody. Good to see you. This was very much an impromptu live stream where I'm going to take questions from all of you. Here's the general way that this is going to work. Today, I'm going to start off with all of those of you that have put a question into the chat. I have a hard stop. I have to just under 2 hours today, actually. But I might do a part 2 later today or tomorrow if we can't get through all of the questions. So I'll just put that out there. I think this is going to be better for my throat too, because once I get to that 3-hour mark, it's a lot. So we're going to do 2 hours, one for everybody doing Super Chat, doing PayPal. And once that either stops or we reach like an hour, then I will take member questions and Patreon questions. And there's a post page on both of those for both of those perks on YouTube and Patreon respectively. All right, since we have a lot to cover today, let's get into it. One last note, it's basically one question per person per live stream or per day if I do a part 2, just so that I can get to everybody. All right, good to see you. All right, let's always tune in. So take a moment, please, close your eyes. Let go of anything that you might be holding on to. Create a circle of light around your mind by painting that with your mind's eye, imagining that the sun is shining directly overhead. Let's welcome in the angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters. All right. Today, I'm starting with Super Chats. I think I made them wait last time, so we're going to start off with the first one, which was Colette. And I'll heart them as I go through this. All right. So I'm going to try to just pull a few cards for each, pacing myself, again, 2 hours. Colette had a question today, which is, what does Spirit want me to know? I always appreciate that. It's a nice open question, and let's indeed take a look. Let me see if I think I have a way that I can identify it here too. Okay. So here we go. Let's put the camera down and see what Spirit has to say for you. All right, these are all fantastic cards. So Colette, I can see that you've been doing work on yourself. King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and then the Lover's card is actually very favorable. But this shows personal growth. This shows, in this period of time right now, focusing more on friends and family. It feels like if there's been previously a lot of focus on like finances or self-growth, that's fine. But people enter into the picture. I have to edit this in real time because I forgot to put stickies on this. The Lover's card represents opportunities to spend more time in relationship building. If you've been looking for love, great. If you're in a relationship, great. Also, people are open to, they want to be more around you because of the work that you've done. This is kind of the recipe to the Lovers. Personal development, getting your feet on the ground, and then just putting yourself out there, making a difference in the world. You're in a very sort of magnetic moment right now. So I would say make sure that you feel appreciated, like lean into your net worth. If you want to make it a better world by helping others, I can see that in the energy. It's a great time to find ways where you feel like you're making a difference. But those are 3 fantastic cards. So I would say your guides are basically saying, keep up the good work. And if you're looking for some good news or something on the horizon, that Lover's energy is fantastic. People are ready and willing to be around you. Lean into your passion, okay? That was a nice way to start it off. Thank you so much, Colette, and I appreciate that you're also a member. Okay. Colleen, you didn't give me a direct question, so if I don't see a question associated with it, then I'm just going to kind of read it like I did for Colette. So for Colleen, let's see what you need to know in this period of time. Sorry, there we go. I see there was a comment attached to this, so let me see. Oh, here it is. My question, if you... Okay, I got it. This, I'll pull one more for that. My new current job will be enough to sustain me. So when you specified the question, the devil tells me probably you need to either negotiate for a little bit more at that new job, or you might need to kind of find other efficiencies and areas to kind of trim the budget. What I see here is you're exhausted. The Five of Wands in reverse can be this feeling of just like, all of these are actually emotional cards. This one's just a little bit more exhaustion, but Five of Cups and the Moon, it shows me the fatigue. I think take care of yourself. We really want to make sure that the health is where it needs to be. Quickly looking at the job, can she ask for more? Depends on how you approach it. The King of Cups is a receptive card, but the timing might be off because it's reversed. Will there be room for growth? There will be room for growth. So how long can she wait on this one? Yeah, I feel like in the short term, it would be good to get a part-time job or seek out something that can get you where you want to go faster. The Hanged Man can be up to a year for that to come through. So there is growth potential, but it's not enough right now. So you either would want to kind of like trim out some of the extraneous costs, do a part-time job, or find another way to kind of create that sort of stability that you need. So I will always give you an honest read. The devil is really clear at showing me that there's not enough. But there is room for growth. We're just, the timeline is odd sometimes because you might be missing the very end of their financial quarter. All right, let's give Apollo a treat. He's jealous of my focus on you guys. And then I'm going to go to the next super chat. Let me know if that answers your question. Okay, welcome to the new channel members. By the way, I'll be getting to you in hour number 2. And I'll switch to members only chat at that point so that it's clear. All right, next question in my list from Stephanie. Will I find my soulmate soon? And if not, what do I need to do to get closer to finding your soulmate? Okay, let's take a look. Stephanie. Okay, first we want to see the work you've done on yourself. You've done a decent amount of work on yourself. Is this person coming in soon? So the Two of Pentacles shows me like the next couple of months, I really do feel like there's still some work that you're doing for you. And I would say it's probably about 2 months away. Is there something that you need to do to help with that? 10 of Wands in reverse. There's a lot on your plate. So the 10 of Wands is a card of feeling burdened or being burdened or putting pressure on this. One of the best things that you can do in manifesting is basically to remind the universe, like, I'm ready, but I'm not. It's not like I need to have it right now. When you start to have that sort of flexible and relaxed view on it, it opens up. So I would say take a step back, clear up your schedule a little bit, take care of yourself, and let's see what the person might look like when they come in. So we have an angelic card here, Temperance. And honestly, the Spirit doesn't really want to reveal how this person is going to look. But by spring, this is typically a spring-oriented card. I see you in a relationship. And let me see if there's anything else. I'll try to dig beneath the surface here. Okay, so what they're drawn to is you. Kind of like just living your life happily, successfully, getting out there. This looks like you would meet them at like a work event or some sort of general gathering. Let me see what else is going through here. And it's an intellectual spark first. The physical is there, but the slight difference between an Ace of Swords and a Page of Swords is they're smart, they're sharp, they're together. It doesn't feel like you have to force this, okay? They don't want to show me. I'm not getting the elements, so I'm not going to push anymore, but I get something that will last. Give it a couple of months. The beginning of the year is when this would develop. By springtime, by April, 4th month of the year, it feels like you'll be in a good place, okay? I think you're just too busy at the moment, so clean up that schedule a little bit and then disconnect from the need to have someone in your life. You are complete with or without somebody. Okay, Cheryl. Didn't ask a question, so I'm just going to pull a single card for Cheryl and see if there's any general advice for Cheryl. The Moon in reverse. So in this moment in time, heightened sensitivity, heightened creativity, sometimes the feeling that it might be difficult to pin down people's motives, because this can sometimes show like, where do I stand with this person? That's actually what I'm getting. So what do you need to know to overcome the emotional elements of the Moon card? When people reveal their true selves, trust it. If someone comes through consistently and they're always amazing, great. But if they make promises and just fall short of it, the Moon and the Seven of Swords are habitual or cyclical energies. So it feels like you have an opportunity to disconnect from people like that and even like activities and environments like that. What does the future hold for you? Okay, so basically the encouragement for you is to use your voice more. Speaking up, saying no, maybe using just your regular communication to make an impact more. It feels like there's a lot of growth opportunity there. Okay, I hope that helps. Again, if there's not a specific question attached, I'll just pull what needs to come through. All right, moving on to the next one, Rebecca Lopez. And I don't see a direct question, so I'm going to see what Spirit needs to say. When you give a sticker, make sure you put your question there, or you reply to your sticker like one of the earlier questioners did. And if you remember, hold your questions and put it on the members tab, okay? For the next 40 minutes or so, I'm going to do just Super Chats, just so you know. And then I'll do Patreon and members. And if I need to do part 2, I'll do a part 2 later tonight because I have a doctor's appointment. So, all right, back to Rebecca. What do you need to know? Change is afoot. I just pulled this very same card for today. So what is it about your life right now that is shifting around? Knight of Wands. A new way of thinking. Maybe what used to inspire you doesn't, or maybe there's something new coming into your life right now where you feel like, I'd love to explore this. I'd love to look at this. How can you lean into the change in this moment? So the cool thing with the Eight of Cups is it doesn't have to be an immediate answer. This can represent taking a sabbatical, a trip, a vacation, buying yourself some time to get what you need as far as clarity goes. All of that is really pivotal with this. So don't rush into something. Make sure that you're feeling clear. So I think giving yourself time and space to sort of like sort your mind out before making a big decision is important. But major changes, new ideas, and this is saying don't change everything overnight. Someone asked what a super is. So right beneath the video, you'll see like a little smiley thing and then a little dollar sign. With that, you can normally, or it's under chat now, you can normally put in a sticker with a comment, and that's a super sticker. It's basically a paid comment. That way I can prioritize it, okay? You can also look it up, Google it, and you'll see it. So when people have a big colored block with the sticker, that's a super sticker or super chat. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. All right. And I'm going to move fairly quickly on these because sometimes, you know, I'll occasionally answer a question like that, but, you know, I just want to kind of let you know I'm only doing supers right now, and then I will look at members, and then I will look at Patreon. Otherwise, I'd be here for 12 hours, and I want to make sure I can answer as many people as possible. So Rebecca, will Andy get the help he needs and come back? Okay. First part of the question, will he get the help that he needs? Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles is about as good as you can get with that. So I feel very good about whatever it is he's trying to get assistance with. It looks good. Will he come back? I'm assuming to you, but let's just see. Will he come back? He tends to let other people drive the narrative or the direction. So invite him back if it's back into your life, if you want it. Will he respond favorably? Yes. But he's waiting for a sign from you. So this is someone, and this is part of the magic of like just being assertive in life. It's not a bad thing. Just say, hey, I would love to meet up with you, or let's hang out, let's grab a drink or something, whatever. Don't be afraid to initiate. I feel like it would be reciprocated. But I don't think he's going to naturally come to you, and if that's an issue, that's fine. You get to sort out what you want. I'm just seeing that he's waiting for you, okay? So let's take a look at the next super chat. All right. Going to Jennifer G. You said you've been looking for work. Good luck to you, my friend. Let's take a look. You're saying, oh, will I be hired soon? So what I'm going to do for you is pull 3 cards for the 3 months that are left in this year, and we'll see, because that's soon to me. Like that would be, and when I start to see a green light, I'll drill a little bit deeper. So the rest of October, November, looks good actually. December. Yeah, I would say definitely by next month or the month after that, things are looking good. Even with reversals, 6 of Cups and the World are pretty auspicious. Why is the 6 of Swords happening right now? There's a lot of competition. 7 of Wands just shows that there's a lot, and people are just taking their time getting back. But competition and options. Show me next month when the 6 of Cups happens. Second week of November looks really, really good. You'll either have you should have an in-person or a Zoom, or at least some sort of feedback on what's going on. 4th week, 5th week. Yeah, if it's going to happen, it'll be the 2nd or 4th week of next month. Right now, I just feel like a lot of stuff is going to people that are either unavailable or just not tuning in. So there's that, okay? I'm going to take another question and then, okay, Apollo, come here, buddy. He always gets hungry. It's an attention thing. When I'm doing a reading, I might have to give him some more food, but let me just get to the next question. Good luck with that job, by the way. All right, Popcorn, you feel stuck. You've been putting in a lot of effort, but keep getting rejected on both work and love. So these are two things. We're going to look at work and love, okay? So work and love. Work is the more challenging of the two. With respect to work, why? What's going on here? Past, present, future. Well, one of the things with work is whenever we have Hierophant energy, it's a lot of structure. There's a lot of kind of like expectations, not a lot of room to grow sometimes. And you have a lot of ideas that want to come out, but I feel like this place may not always welcome outspoken energy or sort of someone that wants to come in and rock the boat. So knowing how and when to speak up and deciding if the structure of the place is sustaining for you. Think of a plant that has become root bound. If it stays there, it doesn't grow. It might stay alive, but it won't grow. It needs a bigger pot. And I kind of feel like the summary of your job is you either need like a better manager, a bigger place to grow, or it needs to be more aligned with what you like, because this is usually disappointment or being disgruntled. So you have great ideas and great abilities. You just need to find the right pot to grow in, okay? And then the second one was with love. So 9 of Pentacles, it feels like you've been focusing on this and on personal growth. 9 of Pentacles is a successful card, but a slow card. So past, present, and future. Interestingly enough, the deck that I'm using has judgment as forgiveness. And sometimes the judgment is how we judge ourselves. 4 of Pentacles is a card that is looking for a missing piece or is afraid to put yourself out there. So I would say for you, you've done the work. I can see that you've done the work. I think the important thing here is not to take it so seriously or yourself so seriously, because everything starts off with an interaction. It's one person to another person. And this part of it needs to feel a lot less like work, because what I'm missing from the equation here would just be like, I think it would be good to be around people that you like, doing things that you like. This is going to get you into a higher frequency group of people that might, by just kind of like being there, you might be invited to something or meet someone else that's in that new group. It feels like a new group is coming in, because this is also a phoenix rising from the ashes. So you may be feeling a disconnect with an old friend group or an old activity that you used to do, and I highly encourage change. So in that part of your life, trying to change and meet some new people, and with the work part, you're okay, but I feel like the environment around you isn't receptive. So think about that and think about how important work is in the equation. I didn't see anything to be worried about, so that's good. Okay, let's take a look at Pink Malibu 2. Which partner should you choose? You didn't tell me how many. I'm assuming 2. Think about, give each one a number. Your primary, I don't even know. We're just going to, person A and person B, you're going to have to figure that out. Who's person A? Now let's take a look at them. Person B. Person B, it's kind of interesting because I see if you could put these two together, it'd be great. So we have the Ace of Swords for person A in reverse. They talk a lot. It's easy to talk to them. There's an intellectual stimulation there. And they seem to be willing and ready to make a connection, but I don't know if you're feeling the physical as much. And then when I look at person B, there's more of a physical connection, but I'm not necessarily getting the intellectual. I'm just going to ask this: which one's more compatible for you? There is such a thing as move on. I think neither of these is the perfect amount. So what I see happening with person B is eventually there might be arguments or misunderstandings. With person A, it's a ephemeral, a fancy word for like good for now. What was that Demi Lovato song, Chill for the Summer? But it wasn't like a forever thing. This is just an ephemeral, short-lived sort of thing. I feel like they may be averse to settling down, or you may be averse to settling down. So is there a person C coming in? Maybe. This would be a more mature version of the Knight of Cups. We keep getting a reversal. Interestingly enough, this would kind of be like a man-child or like a grown-up that acts like a child. So I think one thing here to do is to really focus on reaffirming that, you are solid. You are willing to wait if it takes a month or 2 or 3 to meet the right person, because you don't want to be in that sort of energy of having to force them to meet up, trying to convince them to pay attention to you. Like, you're worthy, and really focus on that. I'll pull a card just because you're curious. Well, maybe I'm curious. When might someone new come into the picture? We'll use the numerical value. Well, the Lovers is good. It could be the next 6 weeks, so not forever. And it's worth it. It's worth the wait. That's ultimately what the Lovers represents, and it's a very good card to come through for a love reading. So give it about a month and a half. Focus on you, and I think person A and person B, it's really neither, which it wasn't probably what you expected me to say, but the cards have spoken. So there we go. Oh my gosh, Regina, good to see you. Thank you for the generosity in that contribution, and also the lucky ones, 111. I appreciate it. Okay. Love to you as well. Your question is, in the members post. Okay. Oh, well, thank you. Okay. Well, we'll make sure that I get to that in the members portion of it, but thank you very much. All right. Which isn't too far away. It's like half an hour away for everybody that's here. We're keeping this to 2 hours today, so stick around. I'm just trying to stay organized so I'm not flipping between tabs. All right, moving on to Daisy Laney. Okay. Can you read Wealth and Love for you? Yes, I can, Daisy. Regina, by the way, just remind me when I go into members that you contributed to, and I'll make sure to start with you. Okay, back to Daisy. Health, wealth. All right, for health, you've definitely been putting in the work, but there's still a little bit more that I kind of feel like it would be a good chance for you to seek out a second opinion. When we have the Devil card, it doesn't necessarily mean that something bad is happening. It may mean that the advice or the current sort of approach could be improved. One thing that I'm also seeing here, take a look at interactions and allergies. Sometimes Three of Pentacles can represent prescriptions. By the way, standard disclaimer applies. I'm not a doctor, but I'm reading basic energy and trying to do my best to kind of marry these up. But this can represent an interaction when coupled with the Devil card. So make sure that something in your diet doesn't interact with something that you might be taking. Make sure that if you have heightened cholesterol or blood pressure, you're not missing something. Maybe a prescription's needed. There's something around that. I do think you're going to be able to sort this out. Three of Wands is auspicious, even in the face of the Devil. And I can see this is where the biggest work has been done and probably still needs to be done. Looking at wealth, Six of Swords, things are moving. Are they moving in the right direction? Let's see. Yes. But there may be a move on the horizon for you. Let me just zoom out a little bit, and then I got to feed Apollo after this. So Six of Swords is a travel and a moving card. So is the world. And so to level up, you may need to travel a little bit more, or to level up, you might need to do a big step into something new that feels like you're kind of in the unknown. Are you happy? If you're happy, it's good. If you're not, it's really important to feel that sense of joy and happiness where you're at. What I like about work, though, is people are generally very receptive to you, the Two of Cups. And you're overdue. You're overdue for a promotion. So if you're not getting that, it might be time to look. But I think the bigger work should be done in health. We already got affirmation, don't worry about the Devil. The Three of Wands shows that it can be overcome. This is a little bit of a reality check from Spirit saying, by the way, if there's something that you're not talking to the doctor about, or if there's like an addiction or a habit, now is the perfect time to release that so that you can, the next card in this is Six of Wands. So you're on the precipice of a breakthrough, but there could either be like limited vision or ideas from a doctor, or there could be someone that, or there could be something that you're not talking about, and being honest is key. All right? Thank you. All right, I'm going to quickly grab some food for Apollo, who is watching me from afar. And while I'm doing that, please remember to like and subscribe. I'll be right back. All right, buddy, I see you. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much. Puppy comes first. And I did not have a chance to do this on social today, so it really is important to subscribe even if you're a casual viewer so that you get notifications like this. Or become a member or a Patreon supporter, because I did send notes out to them. So some days I'll give a little more notice. Today there was a lot to talk about. All right, so we just looked at Daisy. Let's go to Michalina. Hey, do I need to switch to a very strict diet? If not, are there other ways for me to get better? Okay. Anytime I get that health message, I'm going to just remind you, not a doctor, but I'm going to look at the energy around your question. All right. Let's see. I want to use a different deck for this. All right. So what will the effect of a strict diet be? That's what I'm going to look at. Will it be favorable or not? Actually, it would be quite favorable to clean up the diet. We're looking at cups, so also hydration becomes a big part of this, making sure that you're getting ample water and that you're limiting things like tea and coffee for sure. What will the effects in the long term be on this? It's fine, but it's a little bit, like you can even see, I love the way that they chose to show this like a prison. It's about fooling yourself into not feeling like you're trapped into this way of eating. If you can approach it instead as like, what could I learn? What new types of cuisine can I eat? What better substitutes could there be? How will this make me feel healthier? Look at it like opportunistically rather than I am limited. I want my whatever it is that you miss, whether it's donuts or fried chicken or whatever it is. In moderation too. I think that's the key thing. The word strict kind of said it all. It can be strict, but it doesn't have to be that feeling of being trapped, okay? Let's see. You wanted to say, what other ways? So in addition to diet, because it feels like some dietary changes would be good. What else can you do? Meditation. I mean, this is a wonderful version of temperance, but a lot of times temperance is about meditation. This will help take your, cortisol level down. Also, just like blood pressure will go down. You're going to oxygenate the blood, so meditation. Even over-exercise meditation. And then Ace of Pentacles is maybe even starting something new, getting your mind and energy diverted on something different, a hobby, a project. And we're also looking at things that are coming from the earth. So sometimes when you, depending on what you're eliminating from your diet, if you can add in like beets, jicama, root vegetables, things that are from the earth. Potatoes are a little starchy and maybe not part of a limited diet, but sometimes those fleshier objects, like, again, even carrots, things that grow in the earth can sustain you a little bit more. And that's what I'm kind of seeing here. And then leafy greens too. Lettuce, I mean, that stuff comes out of the earth, but literally something that's underneath the surface of the earth could help a little bit. And then more hydration. Hydration, okay? It looks like it'll be good, but I'm definitely picking up on that strict part. Maybe if you could work with a dietitian so it doesn't feel strict, but it feels like, wow, look at me exploring these new things. And I know it's kind of like a game that we play with ourselves sometimes, but be that as it may. Let me just make sure that I'm getting everything. Top chat. So sometimes it doesn't show everything here. I want to make sure that we'll go to fan funding. Here we go. Trying to make sure that I hit on all of these. All right. Next one that I see here is bag full of yarn. A knitter. Okay, let's see what... You didn't ask your question there, but that's okay. Bag full of yarn. What spirit wants you to see in this moment in time? Okay, so... It's all about how you look at things. The Five of Cups is a card of recalibrating or exploring something from a different perspective. What I see right now is new partnerships coming in, or you're yearning for that sense of partnership. Whatever you want to do in this moment in time, you don't have to force the connection. This is one of the more peaceful strength cards. And when it's, whether it's business, friendship, or love, this is saying don't force the connection. It either feels good or it doesn't, and so be it. You deserve the absolute best. If there's a person in your life that tends to micromanage, in other words, they want to come in and basically show you how it's done and it's their way or the highway, pull back a little bit from that. You want to try not to spend too much time managing or convincing people in any certain way of what to do. Also, like, absent of all of this, I have one question that came to me, but it's like, what are you missing in this moment? Like, what does Spirit really want you to focus on? Putting less energy into what people say about you, particularly if it's criticism. There's a time and a place, but a lot of times it's not constructive. So try to liberate yourself from being worried about what everybody thinks and says. Easier said than done, right? Easier said than done. Thank you for your support. I'm going to move on to Ashwini for next. Apollo wants even more to eat, so hold on a second. Seriously, buddy, you got food there. You're fine. No, now he's just trying to get my attention, so we're fine. All right, so moving on to Ashwini. Thank you for your sticker. Again, if I don't see a question, I will just pull 3 cards for the sake of keeping things on time. Also, just in case I'll do one thing with these general ones. If you had a question, what is the answer to that one? I'll start with that. The Knight of Wands in reverse. If you are trying to get something done, or if you had a specific question, it feels like you have one more hoop that you have to go through, so close but not yet. Don't give up. And in general, as I'm looking at your life right now, it feels like you've been on the work that you've done is setting you up for success. That's good. But there is this feeling of comparison to other people, or like, why isn't it happening now? Or it's almost like you're painting yourself into a corner. So try to look at it from like the silver lining, the big picture, and know that you're actually tracking better than you might think. You need some rest. 4 of Swords. It's time to take a break, get through this one little hurdle, which you will get through, and then take care of yourself and know that you've done the work. It doesn't all happen overnight. So I also pick up on a general theme of like impatience or frustration, which isn't always good for manifestation. So I hope that helps. Okay. All right. If you just joined, I am doing super stickers and super chat. Basically, when you purchase a chat, and make sure that you put in your question. I'm going to probably lock this in another 10 minutes and then turn on members only so that I can get through all the supers. And then we may have to do members as a second part 2 later tonight. But we will see. I'm going to try to kind of like keep things rolling here. All right. So if you have a question, get it in now. Thank you, Ashwini. Now we're going to move onward. Again, for those of you that are putting questions in your members in the chat, put it on the tab instead. It just helps me out. That way I just focus on supers here. Okay. Divine Design 89. Okay. Is moving the right direction for you and your kids? There's 3 questions there, but like, first of all, is moving the right direction. It will definitely bring, I like what you're moving into. The 8 of Pentacles is a good job. You'll learn a lot, or this experience can help you learn a lot, and it's bringing you closer to where you need and want to be. Is it good for you specifically? Yes, but there's a part of you that's still maybe not being honest with yourself as far as like how much organization this might take. But I see like as far as like career or money goes, it's good, but I don't think you want to move. That's what I'm actually picking up on the 7 of Swords. How about your children? You know, they're going to follow your lead. One way that you can describe this to the kids is it's the next chapter, it's part of a journey, etc. I think it will be good. The King of Pentacles shows me that there's the main thing that they're looking for is grounding. It is reversed though, so whatever you can do to make them feel safe in this. I'm going to ask a simple question. You're really asking, should you move? If the opportunity is right, yes. This stuff can be navigated. But be honest with yourself. Part of you doesn't want to do it, and you have to prioritize stability for your kids. Stability in schedule, a good place that you might be moving to. So the short is yes, but the long answer is you're not completely convinced, and they need to feel very secure and ready wherever it is that you go. They're going to take your lead, okay? All right. Let me open my window for a second. And let's move on to the next question. All right. So this one is Nature League Hund? I don't know. Nature League Hund. Let's take a look at your question. You are saying, advise regarding my business and economy. I don't know which part of the world you're in, but I'm just going to look at it from your perspective. So let's take a look at, I need a different deck for this. All right, so let's take a look at your business. So right now it's looking better than it has. Five of Cups, a few things. There's been stress over the course of this year. Your leadership is good, and I do feel like you're innovating out of some of these stressful situations. You might be overextended and trying to do too much. You might need to pull back on some of the projects and really kind of focus on one or two things rather than everything. So less multitasking, less stretching yourself out in all these directions. The biggest challenge, and it kind of leads into your question around the economy. The Two of Swords is basically saying prepare for things that have yet, like unexpected things. We're in a time now where the old things that worked in economies don't, and like old rules aren't really happening. Old alliances have broken down. So what you want to prepare for is something that comes through that confounds or surprises like that old way of thinking. And I know that's not always what you want to hear on something like that, but it is very much what I'm picking up on, is to prepare for twists and turns. Let's just look at your economy question too. I think you're going to be okay if you do what we just talked about. And I really do think with all these twos, if you can just make it through the end of this year, through November and December, things will turn around. So the first quarter of next year, 10 of Cups. So I think the hardest is right now. And also because you could talk to any economic forecaster and they're going to admit, we don't know, because it's very much, it changes by the day, depending on your country, particularly for the US, because there's no predicting what's going on. So you have to save more. Make sure that you're saving and you're projecting out a couple quarters in advance what to do for contingencies. That's the biggest advice that I could give you, is have a little bit of a rainy day fund. But you look okay overall. We didn't get the Devil, we didn't get the Tower, we didn't get the Ten of Swords. The Two of Swords tells me you can't wing anything. You have to make sure that you're clear on what you're trying to do. That clarity will help. And I think you need to have more contingency. That's the main advice there. Okay? Okay, our Paulo, it looks like that, like paw, like a paw of a dog. Our Paulo, let's see what your message is. Again, if I don't see something directly around the sticker, I will just pull a couple cards. What does our Paulo need to know? Six of Cups. Well, thank you. I can see the gratitude there, but this is also a really good time for you to put a little bit more focus in relationships. If you're trying to meet someone, great. If you want to go deeper in an existing relationship, fantastic. This is also a great time to put yourself out there because this is a very receptive card. You're literally getting your flowers. So I see that. Is there something that you're not thinking about but that you should? Just take care of yourself. Sometimes we don't. There's a little bit of residual healing that could be done, but just take care of yourself. Also make sure that you're getting enough exercise. Take a look at the heart health. Sometimes we hold stress in our heart or in the bloodstream, like in cholesterol or high blood pressure and things of that nature. Get that checked out. Nothing to worry about. I think it's just self-care. And if you have a question, in addition to this, I'll look at a yes, no, or whatever needs to come through on that one. So the Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is a period of time in which you need to make sure you're getting what you need out of the equation. So ask for something if you need it. Make sure that it's balanced and that everything equals out. And in doing so, you have a good chance of getting what you need. But I think sometimes the articulation of I want this, I need this doesn't always come out at the beginning. And this is saying, let's do that now. Okay. Overall, good stuff. And Six of Cups energy right at the beginning. Have some fun, connect with others. People are very much receptive to what you're doing in the moment. And again, my view right now, as I'm looking at this, I just go to look at all the ones that gave supers. So if you don't put the question right with the super itself, I don't see it. So just note for the future. But for now, I have to kind of keep things flowing because we have 15 more minutes for me to get through the supers, and then I'm going to do member questions. And if you like this, let me know in the comments, and we'll do a part 2 either tonight or tomorrow. Okay, next one up. Merrichy. I don't know how to say that. Okay, thank you for your kindness. I'm going to pull 3 cards for you as well. Whatever needs to come through. Pretty good. Okay, so the Emperor and the Ten of Pentacles. A lot of movement when it comes to professional development. You may have also recently, it can be relationship related because the Ten of Pentacles can be commitment. But this is like work and love, but in a very grounded way. And the Emperor is taking basically the reins and saying, well, this is what I want, this is what I need. So I really love the development in those areas. That's what's coming through loud and clear. Also, this sense of self is wonderful and beautiful. There can be a lot of pressure from all of these larger groups of people in our life. And one of the opportunities right now is to pace yourself, take care of yourself, try not to give in too much to familial, peer, or work pressures. That's the one thing that I'm picking up on right now, is this feeling of increased sensitivity and maybe being overwhelmed. So emotional well-being is the one thing that I think you could focus on. Also, a longing. So let's say you've been setting up all the structures in your life. I feel like it's just a matter of time before that right person comes in. But for now, focusing on doing things that make you happy will help with this. When and if you are looking for somebody, 3 or 4 months from now. Yeah. So I'm not getting a lot of movement on that in the moment. I think the thing to focus on right now is self-care, not putting all of your energy into work, and really celebrating how much work you've done on yourself for like finding your voice, feeling empowerment, and things like that. Okay? Thank you so much. All right. So let's move on to the next one. All right. So this one is Amanda. I'm just going to pull a single card. Amanda, you didn't ask a question, but that's okay. We'll see what comes through for Amanda C. All right, 7 of Wands, hard work. This is the card that follows 6 of Wands, which is success. So it's showing me that sometimes once we've achieved a certain level of success, there's additional scrutiny. So you want to make sure that you don't underestimate yourself. You can say no. You can delegate a little bit more. It's about working smarter, not harder. People have, well, in this period of time anyway, they're more open to listen to what you have to say. Queen of Swords talks the talk, walks the walk. But if you have something to say, speak up. You have a great chance to redefine or recreate your current experience with that. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. You know what? You're working harder than you're getting paid for, or there's some sort of a disparity between reciprocity. So I think now is the time to really advocate, and that's why the Queen of Swords is coming through. Ask for more or say no to things that are a waste of time if you're happy with what you're being paid. Just also, if there's things that you're doing and you don't remember why you're still doing them or why you're doing them full stop, this comes through to remind you that you can always say no. One last takeaway, 6 of Swords, it might be time to take a trip, to let something go, to send something out into the world. Movement is key. And so if one of these things, finances or obligations, are kind of like weighing you down, once you let go of those anchors, it's very possible for you to move forward. Okay? Beautiful read. All right, let's move forward. All right. This one comes from Heather, and I think what I'm going to do right now, I hope it doesn't take away what I can see. I'll say pause on any super chats right now. I think I can still see them if I go over here, but what I'm going to do is turn on member-only mode just so that we can pause on supers so that I can get through them. Otherwise, I may not get through everything. So let me hit pause on that. So hold on a second. This is something new. I think I can do this. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't mess things up. I'm experimenting with new ways to do this. So let's go to customization. And here we go. Minimum time. Who can chat? Okay, so we're going to now change it to members. And I think that should be good. All right, so let's try this. And now I'm going to just switch it. But if you did ask a question, I should be able to see it. I'm just going to make sure that future people are not feeling... Okay, good. Good. We're still in live stream, and it just switched it to members only chat. This will just help me stay like on pace. All right, so if you've already given a sticker, don't worry, it's still there. But I just need to focus and make sure that I can answer all the questions that are coming through. All right? All right. So let me keep going through the list, and thanks for understanding. All right. I was reading Heather, right? Okay. You're transitioning away from your massage therapy career. Any guidance on what decision to take next? Ooh, the fountain is fantastic. This is basically showing that the sky is the limit. And this is a time, this comes right after the World card in Tarot. So you're at a point right now where I see breakthroughs coming through for you. This is very exciting. Okay, let's just look at what's coming along here. You know what? I think I understand part of the reason that you're moving out of massage therapy. It's fascinating because as a healer, I feel like you were taking on a lot from the people. Ten of Swords reversed. You helped heal people. But in order to do that, it requires more energy than people realize. And as a healer, it's exhausting. I'm just confirming, I think that it's good for you now to focus on your own path a little bit, whether it's instructional or something else. You kind of did what you came to this planet to do with respect to this one career choice. Does this have to be a hard stop? No. You could choose to look at this business in a different way. You could teach. You could selectively take on certain clients. You could maybe change how you're bringing in a spiritual practice with this as well. I think you can actually remold this a little bit if you want to, so it doesn't have to be a hard stop. But the exhaustion piece or the amount of energy or the way that you're channeling the healing could change. I studied Reiki 1. I never really went on to 2 or master, sort of like certification. But what's cool about Reiki is you're pulling a universal flow through you, and it's not as exhausting. So maybe there's a different modality that could accentuate the massage therapy. Okay, and for the next step, we have the Knight of Cups, and it's reversed. So I really feel like in this moment, it's important for you to feel like you're fulfilled, like your cup is overflowing, rather than, again, constantly putting in other people's cups, their energy. Six of Wands, success will follow. Like when you find this new sense of clarity, purpose, and reciprocity, it does look like success follows. And you're going to have more energy. I feel like that's really what this is about. It's your turn to feel supported and give people ways to give back. Kind of like what I do here, like give them a way to show up for you the same way you show up for them. That's my advice on that. And I already got that you'll be successful, but like one for the road. You need to be happy. I'm not worried about your ability to work hard or be successful. Happiness, joy, fulfillment really need to be part of this new equation. But I see like teaching or changing the business if you wanted to, if you don't want to fully kind of transition out of it. Okay, good job on building a business. It's not easy. Okay, looking at Juliana, Kiki. What to do to find home, career, and love safety. So we're going to look at one for each since you asked 3. Home, career, love. Okay, we're going to start with love because it's the easiest. So for love is the Fool. I feel like this, have fun. Don't make it a job. Don't take it overly serious. Right now, it feels like the kind of energy you're bringing in is transitional. And it's again, like one step at a time. Whether you're on a rebound or they're on a rebound, you don't want to rush it. What I do see is a playful energy here and a chance to try something different. So be adventurous and don't worry so much about hopping into like a long-term relationship. Focus first on, is there a spark? And are we headed in the same direction? A Fool is a directional card. They're stepping down a new path, right? So make sure that there's an alignment there. I'm going to work in opposite order. So you asked about love. And then the career is interesting. Okay, so we had both of these cards reversed. The Hermit in reverse is saying, come out of your shell. Let people see your insight, your light. It can also be an invitation to get some training, schooling, or experience. 10 of Cups, pretty good. It is reversed, so I feel like people-pleasing is these 2 cards. Hermit likes to blend in, and 10 of Cups is about love and joy in a larger group. So sometimes you just choose to blend in or step back so that other people are happy. Sorry, there was a siren in the distance. And so this is saying in this moment in time, it's important to make sure that you're not missing from that equation and do things to stand out a little bit more. The Hermit is like a best kept secret in a work group, but you want to be the one that people are paying attention to. So articulating your ideas a little bit more, volunteering, trying to partner with the right group too, just all of those things could help. And then last thing was home. So the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Interesting. Look at general budgets and costs for the home. You specifically asked about it. There might be a renovation that needs to come through. You may be thinking, kind of like I am, like, well, I'm going to downsize into a different space just to be smarter with how I'm working with my money. So it could be just like an efficiency type thing, a budget type thing for that. And it might just be time to change up like the feng shui, because this shows me something that needs to move, but it's stuck. So don't underestimate the importance of having a good space and rearranging things so that they fit in that space. So I would look at if it's time to do some spring cleaning, even if it's not spring, and just see if changing up that environment can help clear your mind a little bit. Okay? We're going to say hello to Apollo, who joined us finally after eating a lot. Hey, buddy. All right. My little helper in the background. Okay, I'm doing my best to get through all of these, and then we'll move on to members in about 15 minutes. And then like I said, for the members, we might have to do a part 2, and we'll do something similar to this so that I don't get too behind. I'd rather do two-hour sprints than 1 4-hour. Okay, Daisy Elaine. Let's see what you have to say here. Can I get a reading for love too? It was missed. Did I already answer a question for you? I don't think so. So just, I think I've said it before, but there's 1 question per person per reading. But just in case you put one in chat and I didn't see it, I don't know what that was. But let's see. All right, Daisy. I don't remember saying your name, so I'm just going to assume this is the first time. You didn't say what you wanted to know about love. It's good to ask the question, like if you're looking for love or... So I'm just going to look at it. We're going to do past, present, future. Well, I kind of get what I need to see here. All right, so there's been a period of stagnation in the past with the death card. There might have also been a loss. It does feel like this period of time, you're starting to take the right steps towards improving existing relationships and finding new love. We do see an air sign coming in, so it could be Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. And honestly, the one thing to keep doing, I don't know if you've just recently started hobby, class, activity, education. Something around this is really good. And if you haven't, maybe this is something you can do. Getting involved in something that really kind of lights you up would be so amazing. How might you meet someone if you're looking for love? There. So we have the lovers right connected to that 8 of Pentacles. So I think getting involved with a project, a sort of like cause, volunteer work, school. It's another activity that's actually not seeking love, but it's for you. And because you're doing something you love, you find someone else that's doing something that they love, and you have something to talk about, and it becomes easier. How will you recognize this person? Lighter features, like might have lighter eyes. A lot of times King of Cups has blue or green eyes, or just really kind, really, really kind energy. Someone who is not looking to be fixed, because this card did come through in the upright position. So gentle, available, fun, and something about the eyes. Either eye contact or eye color. Really kind of, you get that spark immediately. Okay, so there you go. Alaya, welcome back. I remember asking how to pronounce your name before. Good to see you. Let's see what's coming through for Alaya. Hoping to get an open reading about anything that you need to know. Okay, what does Alaya need to know? You've possibly just taken the first step in something. The first step is often the hardest. Congratulate yourself also just for being flexible in this moment. Everything happens 1 step at a time. You've also earned your opportunity to be happy. And I feel like this is thematically coming through time and again for today. So make sure that you're taking a chance to drink it in. This can be taking time to break and smell the flowers and enjoy life. This is drinking in the success in the moment. What's coming through for you? 3 of Wands. There could be travel on the horizon. If you're trying to manifest something, newsflash, it might already be happening, which is kind of cool. And this is saying, don't be afraid to look in a direction that you hadn't before. And look at how long those tentacles go. Like, I feel like you could really reach for something and accomplish it. So don't underestimate yourself. Change happens one step at a time. Take time to drink everything in, and it feels like you're on the precipice of some growth and manifestation. In fact, it's probably happening now. So make sure that you're making time to look around. Okay? Thanks, Alaya. Okay, we're almost at the end of these, which is fine. I should be done by 10 after. And then we're going to definitely have to do a part 2. I have a doctor's appointment at 4, and I have to leave at 3 today. So I never know how many people will come through. So before I leave, I may schedule a part 2 later tonight so that we can answer the rest. Okay, so RGM 53, ... What type of energies are you starting to feel for the month of November for finances? Thanks for specifying. Okay, so for RGM's finances, what's coming through? Overall, pretty good. It feels like they are expanding, maybe not as quickly as you would like. What I see with the Hermit card here is also do your research. There might be something that's not obvious that can help you when it comes to like growth and expansion. And I definitely get an entrepreneurial energy. Let me see. I'm going to go to traditional Rider-Waite Smith. And I'm going to ask specific questions here. How's your savings? It's okay. It's okay. There might be some opportunities to do better. The moon is about not making any emotional decisions and not being afraid to look at it. So I would say, take a look at the savings. Show me the earnings. Earnings are good. So if it's not savings, is it spending? Yeah. Okay. I feel like this is a luxurious card. If you've done the hard work and you have the money to show for it, you can take care of yourself. But I feel like it's less about the spending and it's less about the earning. It's more about the saving. So one thing that I would say is save for a rainy day, save for retirement, save for college, whatever it is on the long list where you think I'll deal with it one day. That one day is today, and it's about savings. That's the main thing. Successful quarter overall. Yeah, you can make it one. Okay, pretty good. I had to drill into it. I'm like, what is the moon about? So there you go. All right. So I'm pretty sure that I answered one already. So it's one question per person. So I'm only going to do one card, but I know that I couldn't say the name. Natural Liegund. Only one card because I have to get through this. But when it comes to what your guides want you to know, take the reins. The Chariot in reverse is about focusing on a direction and sticking with it, speaking up if you need to, not letting someone else tell you where to go. So you're going to ask yourself in this period of time, what's my goal? What am I doing to make it happen? And if someone asks you, are you ready? You say yes. Or if you need help, you go and seek that. This is very much about being a driver, not a passenger. So that's the big takeaway here, is that you have what it takes to drive that chariot forward, but it's time to kind of get in the driver's seat, if that makes sense. Okay? Thank you, RGM. I know that you gave before. Maybe that's just a tip. I hope it is. Let me see if there's one last message for RGM. There may be a path in front of you that's not obvious. Two of Swords in reverse is about asking questions both to ourselves and to others and lifting up the rocks and seeing, have I missed something? And I feel like there may be a missed opportunity or something that you didn't act on, and now's a great time to do that. Okay. Cheshire Cat. When will my husband and I have a baby? All right. I just want to look at overall fertility. Your fertility, his fertility. Okay. There's challenges on either side, so I can actually see that you probably needed something like IVF, or you might benefit from that. So let me see, is the block emotional or physical? A large part of it is the stress that you're feeling. When I look at the physical, I do get that you can get pregnant. I feel like the timing may be wrong, and I feel like there's a lot of stress around the conception. And so, not being a doctor, but knowing people that have had, been through pregnancies, a lot of times if there's too much pressure, it's almost like your body closes up and says, we're not going to do this right now. So I think just breathing into this a little bit. But the first thing I thought when I looked at this was adoption and surrogacy. Have you thought about that? I mean, I know it's not for everyone, but this shows me that this may not be the only path, because this can be a limited way. There's a lot of children out there that need homes. I know some people want a kid to look like them, and that's fine. But this was saying open your mind up to different ways of conceiving. And it looked a little bit better for the partner. Yeah, I feel like it's either physical or it could just be timing, and the universe could be coming in also and saying, maybe that perfect soul. This is a unique hot take that I kind of have with adoption, because you know how much I love my dog. But you can adopt an animal or a child and feel like it came from your body, because it's about a soul connection. So explore that too. But I know what you're asking. So I'm going to say, when is it easiest for you to conceive? And I'm going to look at 3 months. just because we're going through a bunch of chats here and I want to see, in the next 3 months, is there an optimal time to conceive? November looks great. Second or third weeks look great. So mid-November would be a great time to focus on conception. That kind of vibes with what I was seeing too. Like right now, not so much. Relax, take some time, take care of yourself. Even the first or second weeks of next month, I think just take it easy. And then the middle of the month, you should be in a good place. And it's very possible by mid-November that you're pregnant. That's a great card for pregnancy. So it's there, but I also want to just encourage you to look at other methods too. Everybody's life is their own and everyone's preferences are their own. That was the first thing that popped into my mind, was there might be another way. So there you go. Okay. I got 2 little stickers here from Bun Bun, and I don't see a direct question. Okay, so what does Bun Bun need to know? Wow, these are pretty big cards. So you just came through a really pivotal period. The World card is about as big as it gets, but unlike the Tower, unlike the Ten of Swords or the Death card, usually it's expansion at the right time and it feels good. Sometimes it can still be about catching your breath. The Judgment card this is 1 step forward and or maybe 2 steps forward and 1 step back. You're doubting yourself. Like she already came through saying, let's do this, but there's a little bit of self-doubt. So I feel like you already know what you need to do. This is just about leaning into it. And the Moon, by the way, is fear. So don't be afraid to take that step. The world is absolutely succeeding and going through it. I see right now growth and expansion, the ability to reinvent and also bounce back from any failures or frustrations. And this can also be about reclaiming your power, finding better balance in your life. But you have to be honest with yourself. That's the main thing that I got from this. Don't second guess your intuition. Don't be afraid to take a step and keep emotions at bay. Like process them, obviously, but don't overthink or let the heart get in the way of otherwise good progress. That was a lot that came through. Very cool. All right. Will my ex Aquarius leave me alone? This is Leo 111 or 1111. Okay, so this is a needy ex. That's interesting. Okay, what does your ex think about you right now? Yeah, they're not willing to let go just yet. What will happen in the future? I do think, well, here's the hard thing. You're going to move on. You're going to be fine. They hold you on a pedestal a little bit. Okay, show me the person. Show me the ex. I don't like the ex. I don't like the ex. Okay, good that this is an ex. 7 of Swords, they're not very trustworthy. The fact that they're doing whatever they're doing right now is suspect. It's not worth the stress. So one thing to do with people that push your buttons is just like unplug. And you have to just think it's really not worth my time and energy. So you don't want to feed their attention. And so it's block them on all platforms, block them on your phone, like cut the energy out as much as possible. And it will be fine. It might take up to 3 months for this person to get the clue, but you have to not let them in. That's what I see. Clearly, at all angles, just show that you're not interested. Sometimes it's hard if you run in similar circles, but you have to, like, both in language, actions, and even body language, communicate no. This one's a tricky one with the 7 of Swords. I do think they get the point, but they're still a little hung up on you, okay? So I didn't get a safety issue. I just get a sneaky person. So make sure on socials too, if you're not doing something for a living, you could go to private or something like that. Just create boundaries wherever possible so that you know who's watching, you know who's connecting with you, and then they'll move on, hopefully. Okay? Is there any safety concerns over this person? I mean, I think the main thing is they just really want a second chance. You should not give them a second chance. I'm going to say that actually with the 7 of Swords. Take care of yourself, protect yourself, and you'll be fine, all right? But don't let them back in. I'm very rarely cautionary like that, but I am on that one. Okay, Members, by the way, you don't have to do any stickers here. You can if you want to. I'm going to be going to the members tab in just a moment, and I will have to do a part 2. So apologies, but I'll probably do it later tonight. I'm going to get through all of this, and then we might just do a part 2 with all the members. Okay. So the next one here, Christine. Should I take my state board's psych exam to create more income? Yes. I mean, like, you can't get better than the 6 of Wands. Yes. It's an emphatic yes. Will you pass it? Yes. Why are you doubting yourself on this one, or why are you asking the question? Trust yourself. This path is already created for you. It looks really, really good. I think this is going to be great for you. Okay? Good luck. You're going to pass it. And yeah, things will start to happen pretty fast for you once you do this. So very rarely do I get all positive cards. I got all positive cards. I like what this does for you career-wise. All right. I do love you, Nature League Hund. So it is Hund because it's Danish. Only one per session. I've said this a few times. This is the last. So if you do another one, like, I have to get to other people. So what should you focus on with dogs? Okay, the main thing here is it is a lot of work. So, you know, when you're working with animals, you have to really have your own emotions in check. So I think one thing to focus on is stress management for yourself, because if you're stressed, there's stress. You may also be looking at dealing with animals that have either disabilities or don't listen to their owners, or to their humans, I should say, or they may be dealing with trauma like PTSD. This is something that I feel like you just need a little bit of time and space to get. I think there's an internal work first, healing and clarifying like what you want to do. But what I picked up on there is that there are a lot of animals in need. So maybe working with a shelter or something of that nature could be very good. But animals absolutely read your energy and your emotions. So look at that before going too much further down that track. Okay. 76 Disco Gal. This is a really good time to focus on love, relationships, and creativity. Show me what's going on with you. I see improvements in your finances. And, you know, it's one step at a time, as we talked about earlier. Keep making these steps towards financial improvement. This can also be, by the way, emotional or physical healing. And then we see something really nice here on the horizon. Whether you're in a relationship or looking for one, there might be something here that has the ability to go the distance. The healing component is actually what's making it happen faster. We have a water sign here, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. I like what I saw there. Give yourself time for the financial or for the physical repairs. It takes time, okay? Leo, 1111. Again, just one per person. I know some of you are doing two. I'm trying to be nice, but I can't keep warning because I got to get to the other stuff. So Leo, 1111, does your Pisces miss you? You need to, I don't know enough about the Pisces, but I know enough about the Tower to say, let the past be the past. This person's chaotic, like in their thought process. What do they think about you? They've moved on. What do you think about them? You haven't. Okay. What can you do to move on? Like, this is about having some fun and realizing that there's a better match. This is chaotic. This is this can also be a little bit tempestuous, a little difficult. I think this is no longer for a good reason. And I will, if I need to give tough love, I'll give tough love in these shorter sessions. I don't think that this was super beneficial. I think you'll find someone that's a better match, better soul match, actually. This is like a twin star or a twin flame, if you want to use that, but like someone that's a much better connection. But you have to be open to it. So it's about releasing this. That person's already moved on, or they're moving on. Okay? I will tell you what I see, and hopefully that will liberate you on this one too. I'm going to go with what the card showed on that. Okay. Unstoppable. I'm writing my first book. What is there to say about this project? Congratulations on writing the book. I can see you've put in a lot of hard work. The best thing you could do at this point in time is to get a second set of eyes on the project. Six of Cups is working with someone that you truly trust. If we look at this illustration, you can see someone that cherishes it in the same way that you did. It looks overall pretty good. It might be like 60, 70% done. One thing that I'd love to see is a sharper focus or organization. There may be an extraneous chapter. There could be a way to ease into the book or out of the book. Seven of Cups is a little bit too wide of a net. So just sharpening them up a bit, a little bit of revision, but it's more in like cutting than adding. So cutting or rearranging just a little bit, working with an editor would be very helpful. Will the book provide success and happiness for you? Page of Swords, you bet it will. So yeah, just a little bit of tightening of the narrative is what I see. And then this is a card that comes through when sometimes we just feel we're our own worst critic and we're competing against ourselves, basically. So don't worry so much about your peers. Don't worry so much about being perfect. Get it out there, work with someone, organize it a little bit more, and I do feel like this is going to be fine. Congrats, keep working hard. This is a very good future-oriented card, all right? Good luck with that. All right, for the next one, and I think we're almost done, one after this, and then I'll get into the members chat. Or two after this. Okay, so London Eyes, I got a full job offer, and I'm in background check. They asked for more documents. The starting date is 10/29. Is there a possible delay? Okay. So that's pretty fast. So I'm just going to say, will it go through on time rather than asking about the delay? Will it go through on time? Six of Pentacles, it's yes, there could be a delay. How long might this be delayed? Yeah, I feel like it's a little tight. Here's the thing with the Five of Swords. There could be something that you might have, I don't know if you filed late or if you missed something. Sometimes when the Five of Swords happens, communication falls through and something wasn't read or something wasn't received. Should this person follow up? I would follow up. I do think it's going to happen. Let me just look at it in the term of weeks here. So 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. No more than 4. If it's delayed, it's no more than a week. But you could end up going a little bit into November, the first week of November. See if anyone can pull some strings, like nothing against policy, but just see if it can be expedited or anything like that. I think that's important. And follow up. I think it's worth a follow through on that. But you will get it. You just might have to start later. Okay? So with the job offer. And it's a background check. Okay. By the way, when I was thinking of moving abroad, if you do like an FBI background check, it usually takes a full, whatever they quote, if it's 4 weeks, it's 4 full weeks. And then you'll get it. So there's sometimes not much more than you can do, and I am seeing 4 weeks. So that might be it. But if it's a company and they're doing a background check, will everything check out? Yeah, the one thing that they might look at, I mean, Seven of Pentacles could be something that happened a while ago, whether it was like bankruptcy, debt, lien, or something of that nature that is aging out. Or it could be just the overall score. Or they may look at something and they're like, oh, we were looking for more of this or less of this. I don't think it's a deal killer, but I did see like one little hiccup like that. That might be the delay. They'll just ask for some clarification on that. But we didn't get the devil there, so I think you'll pass. But it's probably why you had the extra documents. They wanted to see what was going on there. All right? So 3 to 4 weeks. Okay. Aki Sumara? All right. No questions, so let's see what the universe wants to say. Okay, Eight of Swords in reverse, sometimes known as a prison of thought. Open up your heart and mind to new things. You have the capacity to get out of a situation if you're not happy. You have the ability to move forward if you want to. It's not as complicated as it may feel or seem at this moment in time. It's really important to scrutinize agreements, projects, and then just any commitments to make sure that you're not overextending yourself. I think one thing that's really important is not doing things that tap you out. Five of Pentacles is when you're at that break-even energy, but it kind of like has an effect on the overall body. There could also be some soul and heart wounds that are healing from either like disappointment or surprises in the past. Where's it all headed? What's the future hold for you? We really want to work because we got all of these are connected on some levels. So 5 of Swords in reverse. I really feel for you this is the inner saboteur. We see the shadow here, and the shadow can be, this isn't going to happen. I'm not this enough. I'm not that enough. And it's just fear coming through. So what you do is you kind of talk back when you hear that internal question and you say, why can't I do it? Why aren't I good enough? I'm good enough. I'm going to do this. You just kind of like give yourself a pep talk a bit, because I feel like you're on the precipice of some positive change. Meditation will help. Patience will help. Be kind to yourself. Take some time to look around and talk to some other people, because I feel like there's just a little bit of a mental block that is holding you back from that beautiful temperance card, which is finding your footing, starting something new, feeling confident. You're working on those things. Keep working on it. You're making progress, but sometimes it feels like it's taking longer than it should, but I still see the work being done there, okay? Last sticker, and then I'm going to take a look at the member stuff. Directions for my job searching. What am I missing? And this is turtle match. Okay. Okay, so the Hierophant in reverse. If you've been looking into places where a lot of times like the Hierophant could be a top 5 company, very successful, but very regimented. And as we look at new conglomerates, like there's so many tentacles, so many arms, so much structure, sometimes it's hard to break through the ground floor of something like that. So instead of going for the biggest, I mean, still reach, it's always good to reach. But in addition to that, look at some up and coming companies, because the way of consolidation, it's kind of the way of the world right now. So if you get in a successful company, it could get gobbled up. Look at some of the smaller ones that are adjacent to the one that you might be looking at. And interestingly enough, you could end up being part of a larger group by getting into that smaller group that then gets absorbed. That's kind of what I'm picking up on with that. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. If you want to get additional training or schooling, that could help. This is also a teaching card. If you have something that you could share with the world, or a curriculum or something of that nature, it could be good. King of Wands is also very entrepreneurial. So if you want to start your own business, that's fine, providing that you have the resources. Since you're talking about what am I missing, I'm going to actually look at an oracle card for this. Oh, you couldn't see it because I had the camera up. So we have the turtle, and the message on this one was honesty and truth. So one thing to think about here is honestly to yourself asking, is this what I want, whatever it is that you're applying to? And make sure that it feels right. Quickly, when might you find a job? 1 week, 2 weeks, next couple of weeks look pretty good. Send out applications over the course of next week, and the week after you might get something. Within 10 days, it looks pretty good. 4, 5. Yeah, I feel like the next 3 weeks. And that's kind of perfect because we start getting into holiday season after that. So really put your energy out there. This is about emailing, calling, putting applications online, and then we see a couple of bites coming through the week after and the week after that. Are you missing anything? I think the main thing here is don't apply for jobs that either pay too little or you feel like I'm not able to spread my wings. I'm not able to grow. Okay? All right. Quick reminder to follow me on social. If I do a part 2 later tonight, I'll make sure to announce it on social. Subscribe so you don't miss out on notifications like this. And thank you to everybody that did give back today. All right, I'm switching gears now, and we're going to look at super stickers. I remembered to start with Regina. I'm not super stickers, but memberships. So I'm going to go to membership tab right now. So give me a second, and I'm going to take a look at what some of you posted on the post that I put earlier. And then I'll do patrons too. So I'll try to move through this. If you remember, and there's 25, and I usually take about 2 minutes per reading or per card. We're probably not going to have enough to get through all of them. So I'm putting it out here right now that I will probably do a part 2 tonight. So quickly, I will, at 2:55 or probably something like that, I'm going to just put a part 2 and we'll join later. And I'll go back to some of these and we'll do something like that. I think it's better for my voice anyway, so I'm learning as I go along here. Okay, let me take a quick drink and then we're going to go through this as quickly as I can, but not rushing. For those of you that watched or have watched, I think you know that I always do more than I should on this. So. Okay, let's change up the deck here. We're going to start with Newbird 70. Also, let me just make sure I sort by newest first. Okay, I'll go to the bottom here. I'll hold off because I'm going to do it by the first ones, and I don't think that was the first one. Okay, so Mesteph, Misteph M. Okay, will I find a soulmate soon? Yes. If not, what's needed to do it? So you're on the right track. Let's see when it might happen. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So October, November, December. It feels like December's the time that person would come in. Past life connection here with the Judgment card. King of Swords. So an air sign. Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Interestingly enough, they talk a lot. They're outspoken. It's a love connection, though. So end of the year. That was pretty easy. Okay. Say yes to holiday parties. Go to those New Year's parties. Go to the Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa party, whatever you celebrate. Work parties. Get out there, mix and mingle, okay? All right, I'm just going to heart these as I go through it. Okay, so Adventures with Me, SB. How do I help the world heal? And Anne was saying it's a great question. It is. Oh, and I forgot. We got to start with, I said I was going to start with, we'll do the healing one, and then I want to do the other person that answered, gave me the sticker. But just 1 second here. How do I help the world heal? Okay. There's only so much that we can do in any given situation. The Queen of Pentacles here is saying, heal yourself first. This sounds counterproductive, but it's not. Whatever you need to do to feel safe, do that first. Particularly if you're in a part of the world, and there are so many across the globe, where you don't feel safe. It's okay to get somewhere where you feel safe. If you have something to give, this is a nurturing card, you can give. Right now, we do see a lot of this. Change, death, sadness. To deal with the change, the death, and all the things that the death card can represent, it's using your voice, using your platform to the best of your ability. To heal the pain in the world, the same sort of energy here. You get out and you make a difference. The magician is like a grassroots effort. I can do this. I can't solve everything, but I can do this one little thing that might nudge it better. If each of us do just one little thing, tomorrow would feel so much better. If everyone that day did, and if it's like this chain reaction, so we can't heal the world totally, but we can heal ourselves. We can heal the people around us. We can start to make a difference in how we're speaking up and what we offer. What is your legacy? You could ask yourself that. But you can make a difference. You just can't completely erase it. We are in a planet where there are extremes. There is light and dark. So we have to pull more light in this moment and more insight. So speak up and use your voice and use your platform is definitely what I'm seeing with that, okay? All right. I'm looking for the question that was given with that other sticker. So let me just see if I can find it. If not, I might just go in order. Let me see real quick here. Regina, you might want to type your, let me see if I can find it. Regina. Go ahead and put your, because I know you remember. Regina, put your question in chat. I'm going to go on to the next one. I'm not seeing it for some reason. Sometimes, it might have gotten flagged. So let me do one thing real quick and approve things. because sometimes it flags these things, which makes no sense. So hold on a second. While you're doing that, feel free to kind of put it into chat if you need to. So let me just go to comments and let me see what's been held for moderation. Sometimes YouTube gets overzealous. There it is. There's a bunch that just came through. So I'm just approving all of these. So 1 second. I see it, Regina. It was missing. Okay. Now it's there. Okay. Always something. All right. It hasn't showed up yet. All right, let me just go to publish now. And I might have just accidentally removed someone's. If I did, apologies. All right. I just accidentally deleted something because I'm trying to do all this fast. Regina. Okay. Regina, let's see. Where did your question go? Just retype it for me. I don't know why it keeps moderating it for some reason. Retype it. I'm going to go to the next one, and then I'll come back to what you type. Oh, here. Okay, now it's here. Thank you for doing this. I'm torn between two topics, so please choose whichever feels most important or relevant. Love and relationships, what's the message? So let's just start with that, since you waited so patiently as I dealt with a technical issue. What does Spirit have for me regarding calling in my ideal life partner? Okay. So the Ace of Wands, sometimes it can be rigidity when reversed. So I'm all for being very specific in the type of partner that you want to bring forth. One thing that can help, I did this when I pulled Apollo into my life, was to sort of think more in the way of attributes. Like I trusted that Spirit would understand what kind of, like what attracted me to someone, or in this case, what kind of dog I'd want. And I'm like, but what I really care about is kindness, quietness, intuitive ability. Like I wanted a really sweet companion. So I focused on those things rather than this, and I ended up getting both. So I would say when you really go towards the quality attributes, sometimes everything marries up, just chef's kiss. I think right now could be a challenging point for you to put energy into a relationship. Because you are very clear on what you want, sometimes we have to wait a little bit. So the reason you're not seeing more activity at present is just Spirit coming through to protect you from a mismatch. Also, I don't know if you're looking for this, but I'm seeing like an age disparity in whoever might be coming through next, a little bit older. Okay, what do you need to do to improve this? You'll be fine. So give this, I would even say like another 6 weeks, couple months. Wait until the last month of this year. There's some continued healing to do for yourself. The Seven of Pentacles, as I've mentioned earlier, can be financial healing, emotional healing, physical healing. And we see in a period of about 6 weeks that things start to move on. A lot of fire. We keep getting like fire, 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 fire. So probably a fire sign coming into your life. And it feels like it lands, like it's good. Just give it a couple of months. I think you're actually trending in the right direction. Right now, it's not the right time. You're actually being saved from someone here who isn't able to give you what you want. So give it until December. Okay? Let me look at your second question. What will your partner be like? Not someone in your current circle. It feels like this person's coming into your life, either recently moved or has like a background on a different country, state, or side of the country. Something different about them, different background. Fire. This is a fire sign for sure. Or a lot of passion. There's a lot of passion. The only thing that I see that's coming through is a little bit of wounds of healing from the past. Maybe not the closest of family ties, but I do feel like they've done the work to overcome that. We all have our wounds from the past. This person really tries to walk the walk and talk the talk, and they're creative kind of energy, okay? You're an entrepreneur, and you've been calling to pursue a very specific niche. Is this the right time for you to move? And when? Okay. Is this the right time? Yes. With the 6, it can, again, be like 6 weeks. It's any time in the next 6 weeks you could start moving forward to your specific niche. That's the challenge. It is so niche that it's not that you can't succeed. It's that will it be enough to sustain? You might need one little component, like something else on the side to help fully pull it together. It takes time to build it. That's what I'm seeing here. The 8 of Pentacles is fantastic. So yes, but it takes time. So I want to always be realistic. You can start at any time, but I feel like it'll be a parallel project, if that makes sense. So you'll continue on some of what you're doing. You'll start a soft launch of this on the side. Let's see how long it would take for it to be enough. Yeah, at least 3 months for it to kind of take flight. And then let's look at 1 year, 2 years. Second year is when the money comes through, second and third year. And this is true of a lot of small businesses. The first year is often about being seen, making an impact. By year 2, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and then we have the High Priestess in year 3. So I want you to give yourself a realistic guidepost for year 1 on how you're going to organize it, okay? I went in a little bit more because you were kind and contributed a lot, and you waited, and I was fumbling all around. So thank you for your patience. I appreciate that. Thank you, Regina. All right, moving back to organizing this by the earliest that was posted. Okay, and I'm sure I missed a couple there. All right, so Millie Rossman. Okay, can you tell me if Spirit thinks I should go freelance or self-employed? You can, however, you need a little bit more organization in place. This could be the legal portion of it. This could be just even the business plan. Yes, but there needs to be a little bit more organization. Let me see what else was part of this. Or find a full-time job. So you're not really fully committed to the full-time job. It can cover expenses, but the stress isn't worth it. Do you have enough finances to do this? It doesn't have to be one or the other. Could it be a combination? Or could this be a pivot? Could you save up a little bit more? Yeah. I feel like if you could do something for a short amount of time to give, you need money to make money. Starting a business or freelancing, it's sometimes trickier because if the work doesn't come in, you need money saved up. And it's really something like this, 10 months even. So I would look at your savings. Do you have 10 months worth of savings that you can float on? Because a lot of times people have, in this present market, they can be unemployed for up to a year sometimes. So you want to, as close as you can, give yourself 1 year of padding, whether you're freelancing or starting a business. So if you do this, if you kind of like make sure that the money is there, whether it's through a loan or a job where you save up to get to that point, it's better, but you may need even a little bit more. With this, there's one other alternative, which is kind of like what I was talking about with Regina, which is a simultaneous launch. You want it faster. It's going to take a little longer than you expect. So I'll be real with it. Let's see how long it's going to take. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. It's much the same as I saw with Regina. It's probably going to take a year longer than you want. You need to save up a little bit more, but I think you could do a tandem launch where you're starting to put some of your services out there if you're freelancing. Get to the point where you have so much work that you can quit. And it might mean like nights and weekends for a little bit, but then if you can have someone book you out, say, well, if you can give me 6 months, that's enough for me to know that I'll be okay. And then during that 6 months, you try to find the next one, et cetera, et cetera. But I'll stand by that original one, which is have at least 10 months worth of savings. And if you find another job, get one that pays the best that it possibly can and see it as a stepping stone. Don't tell them that, but that's really what it kind of reads here. I hope that helps. Okay. Will it be auspicious, the celebration of my son, November 7th? Okay, 7th, rather. You're asking, will it be a good celebration? Will it go well? And this is Mixella or Mixilia 7. I think it'll be fine. It'll be great. But let's not underestimate coordination. 6 of Swords. There's a lot going on at once. There may even be, for the coordination, there could be some delays on some people trying to come into town. Make sure that they've anticipated for travel. I think that the party itself is fantastic. Page of Pentacles, he's going to like it. Pages are often children. Ace of Pentacles, you're going to feel a little exhausted after this, but it'll be fine. Travel's the only concern and self-care, but the celebration goes off well. Don't spend too much on it. It's about just the people and being there, I think, on some levels. I saw that Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and it might be overspending, okay? And walk. What will I be doing to improve finances? Phrase it however you think it would be best. Okay. You're concerned. Okay, Anne, let's look at your finances. Okay, I can't use that because I haven't edited them. Okay, show me Anne's finances. I can see the stress. It is time to reorganize the finances. If you have the potential to sell or move or do something to kind of help give you a firmer foundation, now is the time to do that. Death is basically change and stagnation. It feels like we need more than what you have. This is future, so it's malleable. What can you do to break through the stagnation? 6 of Cups, Page of Swords, both reversed. Articulate, let people know, like, hey, I'm looking for this. Do you know anybody? Also focus on, when it comes to like how you're marketing yourself, the Page of Swords in reverse, really making sure that the salient pieces are front and center, that you're not speaking or thinking negatively of yourself on those interviews, if you're looking for work or finances, like if you're looking for a new job. But otherwise, this can be editing things a little bit, like going through. With the Death card, there just has to be like cutting of old things that don't need to be there anymore. All right, so let's look at this constructively, and I'll just say, what's the one thing that you can do right now to improve your finances? So it is a good card, Judgment, reverse though. So it's like, don't beat yourself up for any mistakes. Literally, this version of Judgment is forgiveness. Don't judge yourself so harshly. You're going to have to rebuild step by step, something new. 8 of Cups could be going back and, again, talking to someone that you used to work with, seeing if there's an opportunity there. And I do think you'll get through this. It's reorganizing things, cutting things out a little bit. But I'm just going to ask this, can you get through this period of time? You can. You can, but it is going to take a lot of purse tightening, if you will, okay? It also takes time to get back to the 9 of Pentacles, so I do see that on the horizon. One last thing, since we're looking at the tricky cards. How long before you're on your feet? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So you have 3 months to make the changes. If you're not seeing what you want in 60 days, that's when a plan B has to come in. At 4 months, that's when I see things should be reset by then, okay? There's a lot of different ways to make this happen, particularly with friends and family. Leaning on the support of others is probably part of this. Can she stay where she's at? Yes, but it requires, there's a lot of like work on your part. You can make this work, but it is work, and I will always say that if I see it. And you have 3 months to turn everything in your favor. And if you don't see the work that you need in that 3 months, that's when you have to be a little bit more bold and a little bit more specific about like looking at a loan or looking at moving or something of that nature. You have about 90 days, okay? I'm looking at the clock knowing that I'm not going to get through all of these. So I'll do whatever I can for the next 10 minutes. And then we're going to do a part 2 later tonight. Thank you for being flexible. I have a doctor's appointment to check on my sinuses, so I have to do that. All right, Jill Sheets, how can I better align myself to be at the right place, the right time, and around the right people? Oh, and by the way, let me see if I got any. I didn't get any PayPal, so we're good. Okay, no worries. And Patreon, you're going to have to wait until part 2 as well. Okay. These always go 4 hours. I'm just splitting them up into two 2-hour parts. All right, Jill Sheets, how can I better align myself to be at the right place, right time, around the right people and circumstances to move forward in my career and my personal pursuits? Okay, that's a lot. Let's see. Alignment. Are you aligned? One of the things that you need to do in this moment, or you can do, is like the 3 of Swords is a healing card, and sometimes we just feel like it's not happening and we fixate on what isn't. So less fixation on what isn't happening. Let's see what the next piece of this was. How can you be at the right place? Are you at the right place right now? I do feel like you're at the right place right now. When might a synchronicity come through for you? Okay, so you're also looking at 2 things, so let's look at the career and let's look at personal pursuits. Okay. How can we get you aligned for your career? With the career, you have great ideas. Sometimes either it's hard to get them out, to articulate them. Sometimes you're not being paid attention to or not being recognized. So I like the way Temperance came through. It reads possibility. And the way that you can put an idea out there is say, I have an idea. I have a great idea. How about this? Don't put any judgment. Just state the possibility. Have you thought about this? Why aren't we trying this? Speak up in that fashion and manner in your life and in your career, and I think that will help a little bit. So we looked at career, and you also wanted me to look at personal pursuits. So with personal pursuits, it's interesting. I see fire sign energy coming through in the future, but right now, I see more of the energy in friendships. There could be love in the future, but right now, these are children cards too. The Fool and the 6 of Cups naturally are children. So it's about having fun, having playtime, having this ability to just be with kindred spirits that will be beneficial on the overarching sort of personal front. There are some friends that might be pulling away a little bit. There may be some unfinished business with siblings or people from the past. Right here, right now, it's about resolving that and clarifying all of that. And then it feels like you'll naturally move into a place where it's just easy. And the future could be like the next month or 2. But right now, it feels like it's focusing on healing, reconnecting, and releasing, whichever of those that you feel like you need to do. And then I see a fire sign in the future for you, if you're looking for that. And if you're just asking general like relationship energy, this is about being bolder, speaking up, taking charge, because it's a boss card as well. Okay? Hopefully that helped. When there's so many nuances, it's a lot. Like I would ask on these, like really focus the questions on 1 or 2 points, and I can better answer it in a short amount of time like this. Otherwise, I end up pulling a lot of cards, which I'll do, but it takes me longer to get through all of them. Because I'm nice and I just keep going through them. But okay, next one. Thank you, Jill, and thanks for being a member for a long time. I appreciate that too. All right, Marilena, I think it's Marilena. You're seriously thinking of separating and moving on. Okay, that's a big deal. We have a young daughter. My question is it the right move, if there is any at all, and will separating bring more issues to our child than our staying? Okay. I got to look at you first, because how you feel, that's going to affect your daughter no matter what. All right, so is divorce right for you? Yeah. You've put about as much as you can into this. I mean, I'm getting it like it's in your head a lot. I don't know if this person, this isn't argumentative necessarily, but sometimes it's just like you spent so much mental energy on trying to make it work that there's not much more to give. You've definitely done the work. Okay, so will you be all right if you get separated? Yeah. I mean, Seven of Wands is pulling you. There's definitely more that you have to do overall with life when you're on your own. So the Seven of Wands is just juggling a lot more. Let's look at, okay, versus staying, out of curiosity. If you were staying, it would be mostly for the money or for the security of it. But mentally, again, I don't think it's worth it. But you have to calculate the budget piece and make sure that you're safe. Now, for your child, if you stay, if you go. Definitely, I mean, I'll read what the kid doesn't want you to leave, but that's pretty normal. I think all children would want them to stay in the long run, separate from their emotions. If you stay, if you go. So what you illustrate by leaving is that sometimes you have to be strong and self-sustaining, and it shows a strong divine feminine energy. They just want to be closer to the Father, that's all. But maybe that's part of what can be worked out. Like, I think sometimes divorce or separation is seen so binary as like, well, maybe it's like shared custody or something like that. It feels like the child would want shared custody. I don't know if that's what you were looking at. Let me pull a card and say, would that be best for the child? Yes. They don't want to have to choose. And if shared custody takes place, could the divorce be better? It's better. Would the partner be amenable to this? If yes, but someone else almost has to talk to them, or like you're mentioning, it's not for me, it's not for you, it's for the kid. Like the kid is what we're focusing on this. So that's the biggest challenge there. I think it's a third option that neither of you, that you didn't ask me. It's like shared custody. That way it's not either or. And whether you stayed or left the relationship, it will have an impact on the kid. That frees you to do what's right versus what the kid wants, your child wants. Because ultimately parents sometimes do know what's best. If you're unhappy, if you're arguing, if there's friction, that's not a great example. So even if it hurts to be separate from that, the strength card that I pulled shows that it might be you at your best out of the relationship. And long term, show me how your child will be. They'll be fine. They're going to learn to be strong. There's a stubbornness here. There is an attachment also to the father. So I think it's really important to have equal time with both parents. I'm not a therapist. I'm certainly not a divorce attorney, but that's what I'm picking up on. All right, let me quickly look at my my map because I have to see if I can make it in time. I'm probably going to have to wrap up here shortly, and then we'll come back later tonight. I should be back for the other session around like 7 p.m. Pacific. I want to give myself time for traffic, and I'll do it earlier if I can. So keep an eye on social media. Let me look real quick here and see if I can get there in time. It's 45 minutes. Okay, so I do need to wrap up. We're going to do one more, and then I'll wrap up, and then we'll do a part 2, and I'll post that so that you can see it. Thank you for being patient. I do appreciate it. And for being understanding. It's really best for me to do these in two parts anyway. So, okay, next one. Let's see. Hopefully I answered everything there. Karen, good to see you, my friend. Do you see your writing efforts? Do I see your writing efforts leading to additional income? Okay. I want to see money. Hold on a second. I like what you're doing, but I'm going to literally say, show me the financial gain or loss on this. I can't use this deck. Hold on. Show me the money. It isn't the main focus. As someone who's writing and who has written, I can attest that a lot of times books can kind of like, it can fill in about 20 or 30%. So yes, it's a nice beginning. Successful writers usually need to have 3, 4, 5, like a series of books that come out, and that's when traction happens. So break even for sure. How much profit beyond breaking even? It's pretty much breaking even at this point. But what I saw was just like several books in a row. Don't let that. I'm in the process of writing another one, a different type, not necessarily a sequel, though that will happen at some point. But like, I think it's good to continue writing different types of things. So keep it up. We're starting to see now that there is balance in what you're doing. You'll get a return on it. What we want to do is tip the scale in your favor. So keep writing. That's the encouragement here. And the first 3 cards that I pulled, you're coming through with teachings and wisdom. Part of this also is just about finding the right way to be seen. So looking a little bit more at your marketing and not getting too emotionally attached. So after I did one book and I was like, oh, this is what it's like. This is what I can expect. One thing that I will say now with each future project that I will embark upon, I have 0 expectations. I do exactly what feels right. And I'm not so worried about where it charts, what happens, how much is made. I'm just doing this because I know it's the right thing. That's kind of how I do videos too. I'm like, this feels like it's the right thing, and I'll do it until it doesn't feel like the right thing. So keep following your heart and your passion and sharing your insights, and keep up the work. But it might take another book. Like, what will the next one do to help with all of this? That's when I see the success. Because you have 2 pentacles and a third, 3 of pentacles, recognition. So finish what you've started and then start the next thing. Because an author has several titles under their name. Don't give up. That's the takeaway. And that's a nice place to hit pause. So I see a ton of questions that I haven't answered. And you know that I feel passionate about making sure that I'm there for everyone. So we'll do a part 2 tonight where I flip the script, and we'll start with members. And then if there was anybody that still has a question that wants to do supers, we'll do that. But I'll probably start it as members chat and then open it up to everyone like I did. Okay? So yes. So looking at the clock, I'm going to leave here shortly. I have an appointment at 3. It takes me about an hour to get back. I'm sorry, I have an appointment at 4. It takes me about an hour to get back, and I'll need to get a quick bite. So 5, 6, 6:30 or 7, something around there. I'm going to put it for 7, but I might do it a little bit earlier. So that just gives me time to travel, to nourish myself, to walk the dog. I know I can make 7. I might be able to do it earlier. So if I can do it at 6 or 6:30, I will, but no later than 7. I'm going to post that part 2 video right now so you can bookmark it, and we'll continue. So this is part 1. Thanks, everybody. I'll be back later tonight. I'll rest my voice, take care of my health, and I'll see you soon, okay? So part 2 coming. Don't despair if I didn't have a chance to answer you right now. See you later tonight.